Good evening, everyone. Welcome to our cup of tea. I am Satara, and this is my homegirl Harlie.
Hello, hello.
And hello, hello. We are going to bring you a great show today. Mostly, it'll be kind of y'all getting to know us a little bit better. You guys,
Hopefully.
you guys, they probably want to know who the heck has been talking for the last like 3 weeks, right, Harley? So
Yeah, no, we just rolled up and we are like,
I
here's a
know,
peek.
just skirt, skirt, and ready to go. So we've been talking about that, but also we're first gonna get into the ownership in NWSL, women supporting women ultimately, and that's obviously like what we're about. We're huge advocates of it, so we can't wait to dive into that and talk about it and get into it. So without
Yep,
further ado, Harley, you ready?
here we go. Got the
All
band
right.
rolling.
Go ahead. You this was your thing, so I'm intrigued to hear what you got to say.
Yeah. So this happened about I don't know, a little bit ago, about a month ago or so. Naomi Osaka took ownership of the North Carolina Courage, which was like that's incredible. It created more buzz than I think than an NWSL draft did. I don't know. As I was looking at that and thinking about that, I thought it was really interesting how, you can have this crossover of sports and women just coming into the game of soccer and, finding some stronghold there and finding support there. Regardless of what happens on the field, regardless of what the sport is, there's still this, undeniable tethering between women when it comes to the game of soccer, especially like women's soccer. So I thought it was really cool. And it's just like looking into that. You were telling me about the Angels, right? Angel City FC.
Uh,
Um,
uh,
how they got Serena Williams, correct? Or is it Venus?
yeah, that's
Serena.
correct. Yeah,
Yeah.
yeah. I mean, Angel City. I mean, obviously, like them coming to the NWSL is a huge Hollywood move. In my opinion, it's like it's LA. Everything is in LA. Crap, I'm trying to go move to LA. But no, but seriously, it really is. It's a huge move, and everybody's been saying from I think since like the LA Soul time that women's soccer needs to come back to LA because obviously it is like the melting pot for diversity and everything's in LA and California as a whole is just there's so much going on in it. So Angel City, being announced and coming to it and seeing the ownership that comes with that club within itself is actually insane. Like you mentioned, there's obviously like Serena Williams. We said Natalie Portman. I think Eva Longoria. There's so many names that
Jennifer Garner.
yeah, the list is like never ending, and I like the whole idea of women supporting women.
Yeah,
Um,
I think the Washington Spirit has like daughters of US presidents like Chelsea
yeah,
Clinton, just like
yeah,
it's just crazy. It's just crazy.
it, yeah, it
And
really is.
so, does it speak about, how entertaining the game is? Does it speak about what the players on the field are trying to do? They're standing for, justice for all people, trying to make sure that, there's equal pay among athletes. It's just, it's that field is full of conversations beyond just kicking a soccer ball, which is like really, really interesting and seeing how other people come into that and just like, yeah, we are about this. We
Yeah,
love it. So
yeah, 100%. No, and I think I think you hit it right on the head, and I love this whole idea of like you said, like there's just this combination because if you look at the ownership, a lot of it's people like that are not a part of soccer probably have never played, whatever the case may be. So it so seeing that involvement it's quite inspiring and it's remarkable in every which way possible. And I'm really excited to see it. I'm really obviously like super excited about Angel City. I think everybody's really excited about seeing, like I said, a team coming back to LA. But seeing Naomi Osaka with her ownership with North Carolina, I mean, can we just? I mean, I think North Carolina isn't already of a good a team as they are now. They have Naomi Osaka, who's like Osaka, the one of the best tennis players in the world over here.
yeah, no, absolutely.
It's really cool. So I love it. I think this is exactly what it's about. It really is, women supporting women. And I think one of the biggest ways that you'll see women's soccer continuously keep growing in this country is having situations like this, constantly pop up. Um,
Yeah,
it's there's something about making soccer cool, making women's soccer cool. And I think it already is cool. It's the coolest damn thing,
right.
but I think you need some reassurance to an extent to to kind of keep it flowing. So I like it.
Yeah, I think, more than anything, like it's just like the idea of making it more of a household name,
Exactly.
like
Exactly.
the biggest names in soccer should, not just be Ronaldo and Messi, right? I think Alex Morgan's made it there. I think Carly Lloyd's made it there, but just in terms of the pro sports teams themselves, I think that we need to figure out a way to get them to be, the common household name. So
Absolutely.
and by having very prominent women in their own right, coming into women's soccer and choosing to support them, helps elevate that conversation, helps elevate them.
Absolutely. Absolutely. I agree. I think yeah, you're absolutely right. And I think we want to see more. For me personally, and doing what I do with my job,
Right.
and obviously highlighting and showcasing Black women in the sport. For me, I want to see more people like Crystal Dunn, Lynn Williams, Jessica McDonald, Midge Purse, Jasmine Spencer, Sarah Gordon. I can go on forever with names. I want these girls to be household names because they have such immense talent, and and I want people to really recognize what these women are doing on the field and away from it as well too, because they're doing massive things.
Yeah,
So,
absolutely. I mean,
uh,
so are you. So are you.
oh
I
well, yeah.
mean,
I mean, thank you, thank you.
it's
But
pretty awesome.
yeah, so I want, like you said, allowing these teams, these clubs, this league, to become household names for sure. And yeah, I'm really excited. Kind of speaking, I kind of want to switch it up a little bit. I'm just randomly gonna add this in.
Yeah, sure.
Speaking of the Black women in the NWSL.
Absolutely.
So I did a video for Black Arrow last week in regards to acknowledging. So the Black Women's Player Collective is it's like a coalition group made up of the Black women in the NWSL. They are dropping a docuseries this year. They actually came out with the trailer, 4 different trailers, because they're focusing on 4 different players, focusing on Crystal Dunn, Jasmine Spencer, Sarah Gordon, and Midge Purse. And
Wow.
it's giving the audience an opportunity to really get to know these women beyond the pitch. It's hearing their stories, it's them sharing their experiences. And I went in on it, not in on it, but I spoke so much about it in my video. If I could have gone on for much longer in my video with it, I would have.
Right.
But this is a woman supporting other women. And, this is what we're talking about. And this project
What
is
we
so,
got.
this project is imperative. It's vital. It's necessary. And the reason why I say this is because as a player myself, and I mentioned this in the video, I never felt like I was ever in a position to speak openly and comfortably about my experience being a Black woman in soccer, and most importantly, being a Black woman in America. So I just never felt there was really a space or a platform for me to do that. So for this collective group of women to do this and to create this space, in my opinion, is out of this world. And I almost want to cry thinking about it because this like sort of stuff is like it's so necessary, and it's so it's like it's past due, and the fact that they're doing this, it makes me so happy. So for all the people that are listening tonight, I hope that you guys show them love and support when this docuseries comes out. Because I think it's going to be an eye opener for so many people, and I think it'll be not just for supporters of the NWSL, but also for for other players within the NWSL as well too. So
Yeah, absolutely.
I just wanted to go on that
Sure.
rant.
Make sure you drop that link for that
Well,
documentary for sure. Oh my goodness.
I know if you go on their Twitter, which is I think at BWCP, I'm pretty sure, the Black Women's Players Collective,
Yeah.
um, they have everything right there and then. But just like the small tidbits, the 15-second videos, little previews of these stories, it gives you chills, like straight up. And I
Yeah.
can't wait for this stuff to drop. Like it's going to be absolute fire. So I just want to make sure everybody's well aware of it and go shows it love when it does finally drop, because it is about to be a game changer. So that's
That
my rant on
is
that.
that is awesome. We were just talking about how, it's sort of a dry spell for women's soccer right
Yeah,
now. Everyone's sort of in preseason.
exactly.
She believes cup is over for a while now. We got some time before things start kicking off again. So
Yeah,
thank you,
yeah.
Satara, for bringing us some hot and ready women's soccer content. Very
You're
nice.
welcome. You're guys are absolutely welcome. That's what I'm here for. Just drop some knowledge, drop some tea, and that's about it. So, yeah.
But in terms of that, right? So, we're trying to generate a conversation, trying to generate interest in women's soccer always. And today we did ask for some Q&A questions, to see what we could do to talk about women's soccer on the show today. And we had
Right.
a couple of you participate. If you're watching now and you still want to participate, there's the comment section. Go ahead. We'll put you up live.
Drop
But
it.
right now, we have our first question from Unity FC Soccer, who I play for. So
I love it.
it's
Let's
very,
go.
very, very kind of them to send in a question. They wanted us to talk about my senior day that I had with Weber Women's Soccer and how I had my dog walk with me during senior day, which is really fun. And then also a few instances or examples that make Unity FC and FC Austin Elite unique, which, Satara FC Austin Elite is your jam. But also
Yeah.
my jam. Oh my goodness, I love you guys so much. It's amazing.
Thank you.
So, do you want to talk about FC Austin Elite first, or do you want to talk about my dog? Which, by the way,
You want to go ahead and talk to your dog. I want to hear this.
Yeah, absolutely. So I graduated this past December with my MBA in criminal justice from Weber International. I'm also dog sitting. I dog sit a lot. Sorry. Anyway, so I hold on, come here, Willow. So I was able to, graduate. I had my senior day for my soccer season, and one cool thing that I got to do was that I got to walk with my dog, which was, the only dog on the field at the time, I think. Yeah, it was very impromptu. It was very spontaneous because I did not want to go through the red tape of asking people whether or not I could bring my dog with me on this.
Of course.
She's really carried me through a lot. She's very, very important to me. We plucked her out of the street like 3 or 4 years ago, and she's been with me ever since. And she's a soccer player herself. She'll play in the yard, do what she can. If I could have her on the field with me, I think she'd be a pretty mean defender. But yeah, so we did get to walk, and that was really, really special. And there were a lot of problems that I had with my college soccer season, but being able to walk with her and also walk with my little sister on the same day. We both graduated. Well, she's graduating this spring, but we both had our senior day together, and that was a really special moment for me. So a little bit about
That's awesome.
me. I love dogs. I graduated. That's what I got.
I love it. I love it. I love it.
So talking about instances or examples that make FC Austin Elite unique, Satara.
That kind of rhymed. You did that.
I know. I hit that hard.
Awesome. Yeah. So FC Austin. So this is my first year with the team. I obviously, well, not obviously, but I played professionally before for the Dash and for Liverpool. So this is really my first stint really in the UWS and with Austin. And we haven't really done much yet, obviously with Corona and so on and so forth. But the couple of tournaments that I have been a part of thus far have been so much fun. And I think what makes Austin unique is that I think bringing this joy and this passion of soccer back into the game is what I think it's what made the world of a difference for me personally. Because in the couple of tournaments that I've been involved with, I've had the freaking time of my life. And Danny Woodfield, the GM owner of the team, he brings this like level of this level of passion, and fun and so many cool things that make the experience with the team that much better. And so I think that's what makes this situation very unique in all the great ways possible. So I'm really honored to be a part of it. I'm really honored to be a part of this organization, and because I think something special is brewing. Within this team. I don't know what it is just yet, but I think there's something special about it. And I'm really excited to kind of see how it takes off, how the season goes. And, what I'm really, really excited for is just to get things amped up again and getting started and practicing and playing in games and tournaments and what have you, because I think this situation, like I said, is really cool. And
Yeah.
So it's a great experience so far. So I'm really happy.
Yeah, it's kind of the same for Unity. We've had a bit of downtime because our season, we have summer seasons,
Yeah,
and everyone is either off of college or still in high school, so
exactly.
it's a little bit tough, to get the gang together. We're gonna be together. Quick plug: if you're in Florida, Central Florida, come on out. March 20th, we have an open tryout, free of cost. Just come out, play some soccer, see what you got. Um, but that is like something that is unique about that team. So just as a background for what we did, it started again like 2 or 3 years ago, about the same time that Bean came into my life. So I know it was perfect timing. But what the team started out as, it molded from a team that I had previously been playing on, and it wasn't able to continue on with what the growth of the team needed, so it transformed into Unity FC and it entered into the UWS that year. I believe that's how we started, first with UWS proper. And it was a marvelous season. We met so many people. I played against such amazing players. Um, it was truly remarkable. And what made the experience unique is that it was totally free of cost. The
Mhm.
players who were able to play with us, they only had to spend time and effort being a part of that group.
Right.
And it was, so it didn't come down to like this monetary restriction. It really just came down to the love of the game and what people were willing to put into it. And it's always been the structure of the team. Um, as UWS grows, trying to get into that pro position, being a competitor to NWSL. Well, I'm really excited to see what Unity FC does. To
Right.
see what that growth could be. Obviously, like the team is sticking with UWS two this year, just because of like financial reasons, and also we want to have a strong foundation.
Right.
Trying to get that expansion off first. When there's just not the right foundation for the team yet, I don't think that's gonna do anyone any favors. And also, like, we want to grow UWS too. Like,
Yeah.
that is like an important part of the structural concept of UWS. Like,
Right.
that's supposed to be the place where UWS proper becomes what it is.
Exactly.
So yeah, I just I've loved playing with the team. I love what it does for women in this area, especially women who have been limited by financial resources. I mean, that was something that I kind of came into. I didn't really have a lot of opportunities to play soccer because it's just it was especially in Florida, it was very, very expensive to try and play soccer anywhere. So it gave me an opportunity when I didn't think I had any opportunities left, and I'm very, very grateful that I'm still able to be with that organization and see what it's doing today. Um, that's that's what's unique about Unity FC.
So that's really cool. So to kind of just jump back, so how would you say your transition from when you left college to like playing with Unity? How was that transition for you? Was it because I what you always hear about like colleges, college soccer is like the team is like your family, and it's very hard to like find a dynamic like that once you leave college. So did you find yourself like in a similar situation, or was it hard to adapt and adjust to, or was it smooth?
Yeah, I think you've touched on something that is the most fundamental core of what Unity is. It's nothing but family. We have so many sisters on the team. It's
Yeah.
crazy. So I play, my sister plays, then we have two other pairs of sisters, one of which goes to college and one of which she's a little bit older.
Right.
Then we have another pair, and like one of them has been playing with us for a while, but her sister's been looking to play, so she brought her in. And I think we have another one. I think they live up in New York right now, but I think one's down. It's crazy. I think we've got like 4 or 5 pairs of sisters on the team.
Oh
It's
my god,
crazy. It's
crazy.
absolutely bonkers, and it wasn't on purpose. It's just how it happened.
Yeah.
So, and just the energy that we bring into that team is just, every time that we have a practice, every time that we have a tryout, or we like to call it a try in, because it's more or less like if you show up and you're willing to put in the time, like you're in.
Yeah.
The energy's just off the charts, and every time we come out of it, girls say this is maybe one of the best experiences I've had playing soccer. Either it's the most unique and fun, or it's the most friendly and inclusive. Either or. It's just being a part of that, really, it was something special. And my college experience sort of kind of is a little bit disjointed sometimes. We did have moments where it's just senior day, especially. Oh my goodness, we played a team that was supposed to beat us, and we and we got the win. So that was, I know, we went up against a team that should have, taken the W that day, but we came out of it because our bond was super, super strong that day. And I always look back at that, and I wish I had more of that out of my college experience. It's unfortunate that I didn't. I could honestly say every single player that I played with was my absolute like most close friend. I love them all so much, and I don't know if anybody's listening right now, but if anyone played it with me at Weber International, trust me, I love you so much. Thank you for being there for me and doing what we could to make the most of the past season that we had. But um, yeah, Unity FC, it's sort of like it's where I get to just have fun. I don't have to stress out. There's, the expectation is just to, do what I love, and that's just play soccer, which is just, it's very, very relaxing. And it makes me feel like a better soccer player too, because I'm not
Yeah,
so high strung and so anxious about every decision that I'm going to make,
absolutely, absolutely.
so.
And it's really interesting that you touched on that, especially like going back to your college and just like how your experience has been with Unity so far. And it sounds like it's a great situation. And I'm really happy about that, because I don't think there's any worse feeling than being in an environment where where you feel like you just can't thrive, or you just feel
Yeah,
like you're just so restricted. Trust me, I have been in that situation before, and it really is, it's gut wrenching, because what it does, it really just takes the passion and the fun out of the game. And
absolutely.
nobody wants to have that. I was reading an article today about a player on the men's side, and he one of the quote he was quoted saying that when you're in an environment where you're allowed to just like be yourself and and thrive, you're going to be the best possible version of yourself. And I said, exactly, and that's exactly what it sounds like. You're having that experience with Unity, and that's awesome. So shout out to Unity FC for having such a dope environment. That's so
Yeah.
cool.
And you know
That
what? Here's the thing. We consider FC Austin Elite our sisters in soccer.
really,
So,
that's good.
obviously Danny, everybody over in Texas, they're doing the right things
Yeah.
too. So
Yeah, yeah, yeah. For sure.
yeah.
No. And like I said, because I haven't really been involved with like an actual like structured team just yet with Austin. I can't really make that assumption just yet. Like it's but from what I've been a part of so far, it's an amazing environment, and it
Right.
really is bringing the joy back into my life for the game again, which I'm so happy about, because believe me when I said at the end of last year, right? I could not. I wanted to stay away from soccer as far as possible, because I just thought this isn't it anymore. But since joining Austin, it's been a great transition again, and it's been a lot of fun. So
Yeah. And maybe, maybe that's like what the UWS is about.
mhm.
I just it's more about people than players, I guess.
Yeah,
Obviously there's that level of, competition, it wants to
yeah,
be
of course,
it wants to be professional, it wants to include the best of the best. But I
yeah,
also feel like there's this overwhelming sense of family in the UWS,
yeah.
which is just I think that is something that might be lacking in the NWSL. You know what I mean?
It may very well, but see, the NWSL, in my opinion, like it's a business. It's a business first, and I don't think um, I don't think the NWSL. And I was only in the NWSL for what two seasons, if that. So
Yeah,
my
but you were in it. You were there.
you're right, and I was in it, and I guess just kind of based off of that experience, it was just kind of it had its moments, and then it had its moments where it was amazing, and had its moments where it wasn't the greatest, but
Right.
nonetheless, I think every situation has those moments, so. But yeah, I think you hit it around the head that the UWS definitely is about. I think it has the values, the core values that it holds is, it really is about these teams building a family, building this environment where girls are just allowed to be themselves almost unapologetically,
Yeah.
having the chance just to be free and to express themselves. in a way that it's healthy. And, and like you said, I don't think there's as much of this, like, what's the word I'm looking for?
Bond.
Not bond, but I don't think there is an immense amount of pressure on the girls in the UWS in
Right.
comparison to the NWSL, because like the NWSL, it's the NWSL. So you're playing there, it's like
Yeah,
you
I do think.
you got to be the best of the best, but
Yeah, and also like has that spotlight, right?
it
That
does.
just, yeah,
Exactly.
the women in that league, they have to perform, and
Absolutely.
they have to put out a product that people are going to buy into, or else the whole thing falls apart. So I'm not like,
Exactly.
trust me, I am not coming after the NWSL. I'm not saying women supporting women here, okay? I am.
Yeah, absolutely.
But perhaps, the fact that there isn't such a hard spotlight on, the
Mhm.
grassroots teams that are building the UWS, it's providing that
Absolutely.
ability for, women to just play the game that they love,
Exactly. Exactly. And that's
Um,
what it is. And that should be just like a universal rule. No, like
should be.
no matter the league, whatever, like every player should have the opportunity just to be in a position where they're just allowed to thrive and to express themselves in a free way.
Absolutely.
But unfortunately that's not how life works. So I gotta be realistic in that sense. But yeah, if I had ended, everything on a positive note, I don't know if I'll be having this conversation, but I do think I'm glad the things that happened to me did happen to me. So I can actually, speak on having an environment like such as the one that the UWS has created is
Right.
so it's imperative to have an environment like that so girls can just be themselves. That is as simple as that.
Hmm.
Uh, I just think that when you just put this crazy amount of pressure on players, and it just takes so much fun out of the game. But you know, it's
Yeah.
to their own for at this point. But yeah,
Yeah, perhaps. Um, so, would you like to go on to our second question that we have?
yeah, absolutely. Let's
Okay.
go.
So this is coming from Coach Sean on Twitter. And he wants to ask those who have had knee tears, how have they recovered and how has the injury changed them? So,
Yeah,
Satara, I think you can take this one because you said that you have had some experience with that.
yeah. So I've knock on wood. I've never torn my ACL, but I
Yeah,
have
I
had.
know. Oh my God, I need to.
Let's go knock on. Yeah. I have had a scope in my knee. Back in 2017, so almost 4 years ago. And even though it wasn't as severe as an ACL tear or a meniscus or MCL or anything in that regards, I was out for a while. I was out for about 2.5, 3 months. And I think the recovery and coming back, whether it's a scope or whether it's an ACL tear, I think the process in the coming back from any severe injury, whether it's your knee, whether it's something else, because I broke my foot when I was in Liverpool. I was out for 5 months, and um, I think it really is like it's a mental thing more than anything. And sometimes the timing of these injuries can be so bad, and I mean, no injury ever has a good timing, period. But
Right.
um, but I think it's a mental thing more than anything, and I think the one thing that kept me going with my knee surgery in particular was that I knew I just did all the things right during like the rehab time, taking it seriously, having the right nutrition, doing what I was told by my physio, by my coaching staff. Then everything and my doctor, most importantly, then I knew everything was going to be okay. I had to trust the higher ups to get me back to peak performance. And um, but ACL tears, I know it's such a mental head game because my best friend, Harley, I was telling you this before we got on live. My
Right.
best friend actually tore ACL our senior year at UNC, and she, I mean, I was devastated for her. I mean, and she was such a vital part of our team. She was such a vital part of the program, and she tore it, and the timing of it was so bad because she had torn it and we were kind of in the beginning of our season, sort of, and we thought it was still early enough for her to register so she could come back so she can actually play, have like a proper season again, end her
Right.
career at UNC the right way. And I think she missed the deadline by like 45 minutes. And the NCAA was like, yeah, no, it's not going to happen. And it was devastating because here it is, this girl, and her story is remarkable. She worked her way up, and, it's not easy coming through a program like North Carolina. So,
Yeah,
her
it's the
working
best
her
of the
way,
best. So.
yeah, and doing her thing, and then for that to happen our senior year, it was absolutely heartbreaking. But um, one of the things that I applaud her with the most is that, even though she was dealing with everything, the mental side of it, and I know she was just emotionally, psychologically, everything drained, she still found it in her heart to continue to keep supporting us, day in, day out. Girl was on crutches, she was still out there rooting for us and everything. So in short, I know with ACL tears and, these serious knee injuries, it can take so much out of an athlete, whether you play soccer or not. And um, I think it really is up to the individual on whether or not they want to allow this injury to keep them down, or they are going to allow it to make them stronger, to make them better. Because I'm a firm believer in, a small setback is due for a huge comeback. And so
That's
I
a
think
good
it really
one.
is dependent. Yeah, thank you. I think it really is depending on the individual themselves, because you do have those who, who look at these situations as, what, I'm gonna get through this. It's gonna be all right. And then you have those that are kind of like, oh, have this what was me self, mentality. The world sucks, yada yada. And it's just like, no, because you can almost be guaranteed you're not the first player this has happened to, and you're definitely not going to be the last. So um but it's just, it's surrounding yourself around the right people. It's, it's doing the right things. It's having the right support system, and it's having that belief in yourself that regardless of the situation, the circumstance, you're going to come back better and stronger than ever. You just have to
Right.
truly believe that, and you have to continue to keep working and working and working, and to get back to where it is that you ultimately want to be. For on a personal level, when I got back from my knee surgery, there were moments, of course, there were moments where I was like, I can't do this. I'm so over it, because everything shifts. The whole dynamic shifts. Your nutrition changes. How you approach certain things. All of it changes, and it can be draining at times. And I was 6,000 miles away in England, having to cope with this on my own. So sometimes it's very difficult to deal with it. But nonetheless, I switched that. There was days where, yeah, it sucked, but a lot of the time, the majority of that rehab time, it was, what, Satara, you're gonna get up, you're gonna do your thing, and you're gonna get back out there, and it's gonna be better. It's gonna be better than ever. So, um,
Yeah, I think
yeah,
I think you nailed it in a lot of ways. My little sister, her senior year of high school, she tore her ACL. She had to have full, reconstruct. Well, not full. She did have reconstruction, I believe. But it was right after she had just signed to play college soccer. It was a devastating blow. It was like completely unexpected. It happened during a game that she was playing as a favor for. Really, it wasn't anything that had any weight to it except the fact that she was there to help, and
right,
she got that devastating injury. And watching her go through that process, it absolutely was more than anything a mental journey. I just she's a very strong person. She has a very, very strong will.
yeah,
But even the strongest people are going to have
ab-
setbacks, and they're going to see
absolutely,
obstacles. So I
absolutely,
think for anyone out there, especially in women's soccer, where it seems like it's the most prone to ACL injuries.
it's crazy, really.
Yeah, I cannot count how many people and players that I know who have not only torn their ACL once, but twice or three times.
And yeah,
Um, yeah, and but somehow they make it through that injury and are able to come back stronger than ever. I can honestly say, like my little sister now, she is never been stronger. She is honestly, I think I have pretty good like arm muscles, but like oh my god, hers, oh my goodness. And her
she's
legs, oh my goodness. She
no,
is
that's
so fit. She is so strong.
crazy. It's crazy how much muscle, like, players that are coming back from injuries like that put on.
Yeah.
I'm like some players that I played with or played against, like they'd be like little twigs right before the injury, and come back after the injury, and I'm just like, what the heck? Like,
Yeah, it's like they've been
you're
bodybuilding. It's
exact right
crazy.
now. Yeah, it's crazy.
So yeah, I think I do know a little bit of background about the person who asked this question and where it's coming from. So I do know that as a younger player, and there's a little bit of time that she might have before she has to actually like really get back into playing soccer seriously before she has to go to college. Um, it's going to take time. Do not rush it.
Nope.
Like I know I have had injuries where I've been taken off the soccer field and I was told I could not play. I've had 2 major concussions. Like it's the most devastating thing in the world to just not be able to do the thing that you've dedicated your entire life to.
Absolutely.
Um, but don't rush it, because if you do, you're going to put yourself so much further back than where you could possibly be.
Yep.
And it's not worth it. Again, like on this show and in my life, I always think people are more important than anything than anything that requires a soccer ball.
Yep.
Um,
Yeah.
so take care of yourself first. If you're experiencing an injury like this, focus on you first and foremost.
Yes.
Okay, it
Yes,
is okay to
Harley.
do that.
Yes, absolutely. I think, wow, I think, yeah, you absolutely nailed it in the sense that, yes, please take care of yourself first. More than anything, take care, and not just like from like a physical standpoint, from like a mental standpoint as well too, because like we need to harp on how mental health is very important, and taking care of yourself in that sense is super crucial. And like injuries like that really do take a toll on your mental health. No ifs, ands, or but about it. So yes, Harley, you nailed it. Absolutely take care of yourself first. Please don't rush it in any way, shape, or form. The sport of soccer will always be there.
Yeah,
I promise you.
and And if you know anybody who's going through an injury like this, please do all you can to support them. Oh my goodness. I know
Yeah.
it sometimes you're going to be like, I just don't get it. Why don't they understand why I'm supporting
Yeah,
them so much? Like they just, it is one of the most difficult injuries, I think,
it is.
especially with the sport that it happens in,
Yeah,
just
exactly.
be there for them as much as you can, support them as much as you can. They're gonna
Exactly.
need it.
Exactly. And like I mentioned earlier before, like having like you some to sum that up, just have a really good support system, really and truly. Like
Yep.
people who are going to uplift you, people who are going to encourage you. Um, those like surrounding yourself around those type of people really does make, I think, the process a lot smoother than if you were to one either go through it alone or go through it with a group of like a support system that really doesn't have your back, or doesn't have really have your best interest in mind.
Right.
um, so yeah, make sure first and foremost take care of yourself, but also surround yourself around a good group of people that want to make sure that you get back to 100%. But in a careful and proper way. Not, oh, I think I feel good today. I'm about to go hop back on and 11 be like, no, it's not like that. It's more of, okay, you feel good. That's good because it's a process, right? Rome
Right.
wasn't built in a freaking day, so
That's
this
true.
whole situation is not going to be over and done with overnight. So take your time, take your baby steps, do what you got to do the right things right, and
And it will be okay.
it'll be okay.
It
Yeah,
will be.
exactly. And I know, and sometimes I know it's like sometimes people are into those situations. You always hear like even like the small milestones mean a lot in those particular in situations, because like running on running on the what is it, Ultra G at like 100% body weight or close to your body weight, like small things like that really do make the world of a difference. So be surrounded by people who are going to celebrate those milestones with you, even you know, yeah.
Yep.
So that's my advice right there.
I think we have enough time to take one last question, which we have gotten here at the very end.
Cool.
So, from Unity FC, Satara, you won a national title at UNC, and did you get a cool ring or medal?
I got a cool ring. I actually have it right here. I will. Should I get it? It's not.
Absolutely. I've had dogs running around here. You can go get a
Hold on,
ring.
give me a second. Give me a
Sure
second.
thing. Here, I'll keep you guys entertained for a second. I'll do my best.
It's not. It's not like some massive rock, but it's a national championship ring. Here, let me take a show. My camera's not.
I want to see it.
Can you see it? Yeah,
Ooh, it's
yeah,
so shiny. Look at
yeah.
that thing.
So it's. I don't wear it. I have it in my. It's cute. Like it's very like girly, whatever. My mom wears this ring more than I do, actually. So
Oh,
yeah,
sweet.
I actually have her. I think I have. Yeah, I have her initials in. Yeah. I got my mom's
Satara,
initials.
that's some serious hardware. I'm not gonna lie.
Yeah, thanks. Sometimes I forget about it. I'm gonna shine it up a little bit. Yeah, that was my ring. It was we when we got it, it's the story is hilarious, but like when we got it, so like our seniors, they were like the only class that had won a national title like before. They won it their freshman year. So they had a ring. And so everybody was trying to add their input in like how big the ring should be, yada yada. And I'm very extra in the sense that I want my thing to be like massive. Like I want the world to know like I want a natty, you know?
Yeah, absolutely.
But then we decided on this, and I was like, well, it's very quaint and it's cute, and I guess you can wear it around,
Mhm.
but I don't wear it around because, like, why? That's
It's pretty heavy.
interesting. So,
It's like
yeah, yeah.
pretty workout
So
for your
that was my
fingers.
now.
That's really, really cool.
Yeah, so, yeah. So that's
Yeah,
that.
if I was
Mhm.
at oh man, if I was for some reason I record in a different place every time. Sorry, very sorry. But if I was where I was last time, I could bring out some of the stuff that I've experienced as a win in my lifetime.
Yeah,
But
listen,
absolutely,
there's always next time.
yeah, for sure. I'll bring out some big old trophies that we got. They're very shiny, very gold, very pretty.
Let's go.
Yeah,
Yeah.
that's awesome. Man,
Thank
I'm
you.
so honored to have seen that. That is very cool. I know you say it's just a little ring, but like that thing is. I didn't even get like a class ring for graduating high school. You know, like everyone got the class. That's crazy.
Yeah, that's yeah. Thank you. Actually,
Oh, I think this is. You might want to answer this one.
did you score a goal at the? This is my mom.
Yeah.
Uh, yes, I did. I scored my first collegiate goal in the national championship game against Penn State. It was off of a corner, and I just happened to be at the right place at the right time, and absolutely just skyrocketed this ball into like the upper 90 and called it a day.
What?
Yeah,
Oh
it
my
was
gosh.
pretty
I
cool.
just got goosebumps. That's amazing.
I actually couldn't believe it went in. Like, you know, when you're like in a situation and you just can't believe like something is actually happening. First of all, I couldn't even believe that I was in this national championship game. Like, I'm this
Yeah.
19-year-old just, from Austin, Texas, just trying to make something of herself. And then I'm in this game and all of a sudden I score. I'm just thinking, what in the world is going on? So it was really awesome. Yeah. It was cool.
Yeah, I get very, very like red and sweaty when anything, special happens during a game. People like congratulate me or whatever. So I could
Yeah.
not even imagine. I could not like if I was in that situation, I probably would have passed out. Like I would have scored, and then you would have seen me on the ground. I would have been
Yeah.
done.
No, that entire experience was just absolutely. I can't even explain it. I wish people always ask me like what it was like, and I always say if I could explain it, I would, but there aren't any words to explain. You know, that entire experience,
Yeah.
and it really was an honor to be a part of that. And yeah, I'm proud to say that I went to the University of North Carolina. Like
Oh yeah. Oh my
it
goodness.
was awesome. It was a great 4 years. So, but that experience alone, national championship was just it was crazy. Yeah.
Wow. That is amazing. I can't put oh my goodness. That's so cool.
Thanks. Thank you.
I
Thank you.
think I think it's like official to say that our listeners might know a little bit more about us now.
I hope you guys got to know a
I
little bit
surely
more.
hope so.
If there's any other questions, feel free to hit us up on Twitter because I will happily answer any and every question on Twitter.
Yeah,
Um,
absolutely. You can tweet at us at the our cup of tea directly at our underscore cup underscore of underscore tea on Twitter. If you have any questions or if you're a club or organization that is promoting women's soccer, we have our cup of tea woso at gmail.com. And that's our cup of tea woso at gmail.com. Send us an email. Try and get you on the show. It'll be fun for all of us.
have a fun.
My personal is at Harlie Ford. I don't know. Plug that. I don't know.
Yeah, and mine is at Sadie May, but hold on, I'm gonna tell you guys, Sadie has 4 T's in it, so it's SATTTTYMAY. I don't know. I was in college when I made the Twitter handle, so please excuse me.
That's
I
a
would
tremendous name.
lose my vacation, which I know sounds super vain, but I don't want to go through that whole process again. So I'm just gonna have to keep Sadie
Hey,
Man.
you know what? You got that blue check mark for a reason.
Just trying to, like I said, just trying to make something of.
Scoring goals for a national championship. That's how you get a blue check mark.
Hey, yeah, exactly. At this point, yeah. So
Right.
Well,
Well,
thank
yeah.
you all for listening tonight. It's been an honor and a pleasure as always. Harlie, thank you,
Uh,
darling.
oh, thank you. Obviously, like, gotta thank Unity FC, FC Austin
Mhm.
Elite,
Absolutely.
Reboot, um, the Elite Soccer Network, John and Liz always, for giving us a show in the first place, and whoever's listening, you know, thank you
Everest.
guys.
Thank you all. Always thank you guys for the love and the support. We really appreciate it. So much love to everyone. Everyone stay safe.
Please
Um,
do.
have a wonderful week. And we'll be back on the 29th. Is that right?
Yeah, I believe so. It'll be the last Monday of March,
Will be. So
which is like March is a very long month. There's like 5 weeks
it,
of March.
literally the longest month ever.
It's pretty crazy.
Yeah,
Uh,
but that episode will start kind of getting into things because now the NWSL will be approaching its season. So
yep,
we're going to be covering that, and it'll be a lot of fun. So you guys do not want to miss it.
absolutely. Satara, it's a pleasure always.
Harlie, likewise, and I will see you in a couple of weeks.
Spill that
Yeah.
tea.
I love it. All right. Peace.